Okay, this is going to be the second lesson in Unit 6 on polynomials for Advanced Algebra 2. Start talking about factors and their multiplicity today. So what we have to understand is understanding the words zeros, okay, roots, solutions, x-intercepts. They all mean the same thing. It's where the graph crosses or touches the x-axis. Now, when it crosses through, that counts for 1, okay? When it quick touches, it counts for 2. It curves through, it counts for 3. If it long touches, it counts for 4. That also means that when we make the factors for these, we have to use that number as the exponent, okay? Now, we're going to start with write the equation in factor form, and it tells you what the degree is if you ever get confused. So we know this would count for 1, 1, 1. So if I'm at 3, the max this can count for, and this is very important to understand, the max number of real zeros, okay, all right, can equal the degree. That's the max amount. It could be less, okay? You can have 3 real zeros, 2 imaginary. We'll get into that later. So if this is 3, what's the only one this can be? 2, okay? So this crosses at 1, 2, 3, 4, -4, okay? This crosses at -1, this crosses at 2, this crosses at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? So what this would be in factored form, okay, is that would be x plus 4 squared. This would be x plus 1. Okay, this would be x minus 2. This would be x minus 5. Now, the other thing you have to do is to determine, is the polynomial positive or negative? Well, Mr. Evans, how do we do that? You look at the arrows. So think about this from our previous lesson. If our arrows are like that, that's this one. Well, what's that going to be? Odd, negative. And by telling it has a degree, you got to make sure you have that in there. All right? So let's look at this one. Degree 6. Now look at these. So that is going to be an even negative. So I got to put that negative in there. Yeah. All right. It's going to count for 1. It's going to count for, I don't know how much that's going to count. Let's say this counts for 3 because it curves through. So that's got to count for 2 at the most, okay? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So x plus, that's at -5. So when I convert that to a factor, I'll make that there. This is going to cross at -1, which would be x plus 1. And since that quick touch is there, that's 2. And then that crosses at 2, right? That's how I get it for 1. That's the factored form. Okay, degree 11. Ooh, okay, so this is going to count for 1. This is going to count for 1. This count for 1. Let's say 2 and 2. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. So if it's degree 11, this has to count for 4. Okay, so I got my arrows are going to be odd positive. Okay, so I'm good there. All right, so I got 1, 2, that's -3 is a solution. So I would put x plus 3. That would be -1 as a solution, so it's going to be x plus 1. That's going to be 1 as a solution, so it's going to be that. That's going to be 3 as a solution, so that. That's going to be 4 as a solution. Okay, 5, 6, 7, and then x minus 7 to the first power. Okay, all right, and that would be the factored form. All right, there's a worksheet that I'll have in class that I'll have you try. All right, now we're going to draw the following polynomial. So what you want to do with this, first thing is put your arrows in. Okay, so when I do this, first of all, I got to figure out what the degree is. So that's 3, 2, 5. That's another one. So this is degree 6, and it's negative. So that means that I'm an even negative. So my arrows have to be there, okay? So degree 6, that would be one that looked like that. So my arrows are going to be the same spot. Then go ahead and put your solutions in. Okay, solution for that is -1. Solution for that is 2. Solution for that is 4. Now, what you want to do, start from the left. Start from the left. All right, so with the left arrow, I'm going to approach this first 0. Okay, now at -1, start from the left. How does it cross or touch? So at this one, what's it going to do? It's going to curve through. So I got to make that little curve. Now, in order to get to this one, I have to turn the graph. Okay? All right? Now, when it gets to -2, what's it going to do? It's going to quick touch. Then it's got to turn to get to this one. It's got to go to there, and it connects. So how high do we have to make this? It doesn't matter. I'm concerned with, are your arrows in the right spot? Does it cross or touch the graph in the correct spot? Okay? Now this one, all right? This is 2, 4, 5. I got degree 5, and it's positive. So what's that going to be? It's going to be that. So I'm going to go ahead and put an arrow here and an arrow here. What is this one? Well, this one's just going to be a solution at 0. This is a solution at -3. This is a solution at 6. Okay, so I'm going to start from the left. When I get to the -3 solution, what happens? Quick turn. What's going to happen when I get to this 0 solution? Quick turn. What's going to happen when I get this? Straight through. So you're sort of logical on how you're going to do this. Okay, now this is 3, 4, 8. So degree 8, and it's negative, so it's got to look like that. So I got to have arrow here, arrow here. Now, don't get confused with this. If I set that equal to 0 and solved it, I would divide by -2. X cubed equals 0. Cube root of 0 is 0. All right, so don't get confused by that. All right, it's designed to throw you off a little bit. Solution there would be -4. Solution there would be +4. All right, so I'm going to start from this way. When I get to the -4, I'm just going to cut on through. To get to this one, I have to turn it and I have to curve it through. And then when I get to this one, I turn it and I long touch through and straight down. Okay? All right, that's how you do that one. Okay? I would like you to practice drawing these. Okay, we're going to write the equation of the polynomial in factored form. Okay? So we got to, factored form means in factors. So, all right, degree 0 is at -1 with a multiplicity of 2. That's x plus 1. Okay? Squared. Multiplicity, or x equals 6. They're not telling us any multiplicity. Then they give us this. Here's the problem. I've got degree 1, degree 3. They tell me it's degree 4, so I need another factor. And let me explain how you get that. You're going to go ahead, if they tell you 0, go ahead and put 0 in there. Okay, 0 plus 1 squared, 0 minus 6. Okay? 0 plus 1 squared is 1. 0 minus 6 is -6. 1 squared is 1. -6 squared is, -6 is -6. Times that is -6. Okay? All right? So what we got here, okay, what we got here is I need this result to be negative, or to be 24. Well, how would I do that? Well, what I would do is I would create a factor of x minus 4. Because here's why. If I put a 0 in there, 0 minus 4 would be -4. -4 times -6 is positive 24. So whatever you sort of need, that becomes the last number in your factor. You got to watch the degree. So on this one, I've got x minus 3 squared, x plus 4, and they're telling me it's degree 4, so I'm going to need one more. Okay? Now, once again, if I put 0 in there, 0 minus 3 squared, 0 minus 3 squared, 0 plus 4. 0 minus 3 is -3, 0 plus 4 is that. That'd be 9 and 4, okay? That would be 36. Now, I need it to be that. Well, how would I get that? Multiplying by -5. And and that's, I made that x minus 5, and that would be my final factor, okay? So why don't you guys try doing those on your own?